Let's see this question. We're given two irrational numbers, right? Square root and with 3 layers. So we observe, we see this is the same as this. And this is the same as this. So this is a plus, this is a minus. So that means A and B are conjugates. So if we write A squared plus B squared, right? If we square this, we get rid of the outer layer, the square root. Then this is a positive term, so this term is positive, and this term is negative. That add to be 0. Then we're left with 11 plus 11, which is 22. So A squared plus B squared is just 22. But what about if we multiply those two? A times B, because they're conjugates. So get the first one square minus the second one square. Well, let's do that. It's a little bit complicated, right? So we have 11, we have square root. So first, because A is square root of this, B is square root of this. So let's write AB. Let's write in black color. So let's write A times B here. So because both have square root, so let's write under this square root. So difference of two squares, right? 11 plus a term, 11 minus a term. So we get 11 square minus, well, this is square root square, which will get 61 plus 4 square root of 14 square, right? So square root cancel this one, cancel this second layer of square root. So we get 11 square minus square root of this square, which is 61 plus a radical 14. Well, now let's simplify. So 11 squared is 121. Right? 121 minus 61 minus 8 square root of 14. Just get rid of the parentheses. Then 121 minus 61 is 60. So the square root of 60 minus 8 times square root of 14. Now, can we simplify this? If we can make inside the radicand a perfect square, that would be ideal. So for a radical 14, we think we can write as 2 times 4 times square root of 14. Right, so we think, okay, what's 4 square? 4 square, 16. Then plus 1, that's too small. So 2 times square root of, right, okay. So 4 square, or maybe we can simplify. So we can, let's see. We think about 2. Yeah, okay, so let's think about 2 radical 14. When we square this one, we will get a 4 times 14, which is 56. Then 56 plus 4 is 60. Okay, so that's why, so we want to factor this one. Let's write a little bit further. So we want to write, so 60 to be 56. 60 to be 56 plus 4. But in between, we want to write the 2 times 2 radical 14 times 2. Then plus 2 squared. So we want to write this way. So this way give us a perfect square. So this perfect square is 2 radical 14 minus 2. Actually, what we could do is we could just factor out 4. Might be easier. Right? Because you see, because 56 comes from square of 2 radical 14. So 2 radical 14 square is 56. Then minus 2 times 2 radical 14 times 2, the middle term. Then plus 2 squared. Right? So perfect square. Then square root cancel each other. So this becomes 2 radical 14 minus 2. That's a times b. That's a times b. So now we have a squared plus b squared equals 22. And then we have ab equals to 2 radical 14 minus 2. Now we want to find a plus b. Right, let's find a plus b squared first, then we square root. So a plus b squared plus a squared, no, not a plus b squared. Right, that is a plus b squared. So a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Right, a squared plus b squared is 22. We have calculated, right? We square a, we square b, then the second term gets cancelled. So that's equal to 22. Then plus 2 times 2 radical 14 minus 2. So there's a 22 plus 2 times 2, 4 radical 14. Then minus 2 times 2, which is 4. Well, 22 minus 4, which is 18. Then plus 4 radical 14. So this is a plus b squared, but we want to find a plus b. So that means we want to square root. So a plus b equals to, can we do negative? We don't want to do negative, right? Because here we have square root, both square root. A is positive, b is positive. So when we square root, we want to get a positive square root of 18 plus 4 radical 14. So 4 radical 14, we want to write it 2 times 2 radical 14. Now we see this one, we want to split 18 would be 14 plus 4. Then the middle term is 2 times square root of 14. So this means we can write the inside as the square root of 14 plus 2 squared. Right? Because 14 comes from square root of 14 squared. A 4 comes from 2 squared. 2 times 2 square root of 14 is a middle term. Square cancel out square root. So this just equals to square root of 14 plus 2. So a plus b is still an irrational number. So it's a square root of 14 plus 2.